Yes! Woo! Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back. Pickleball Recovery and Performance Podcast. Brought to you by Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to the Pickleball Recovery and Performance Podcast, brought to you by Paddle Pro Recovery, PPR. Make sure you're heading over to that website, paddleprobalm.com, grabbing your affordable pain relief balm that's plant-based. Take your pain away real quick, real quick. Anyways, today is episode 14. Can you believe it? This journey has been 14 episodes long. And I just wanted to stop for a second and thank each and every one of you for listening, for sharing the feed, sharing the podcast, for telling your friends and family. We've been getting all sorts of emails thanking us for the content and diving in so specifically on certain things in the world of pickleball. And one email we got from, what was her name? Sarah V. 3 days ago. She was just super grateful how simple it is to understand our breakdowns, for whatever sector or position inside of the game of pickleball. So you are welcome. Again, please email us, contact at paddleprobalm.com. Let us know topics you want to know or us to speak about. And also, we want to bring people on the podcast. We want to have a couple of these a week just to hear your story, how pickleball has changed your life, maybe some questions, and, some healthy debates too. How about that? So welcome back, guys. It's episode 14. Today is exciting because there's a big question. Pickleball came out of nowhere, right? It's like one day we were in COVID. The next day, everybody and their neighbor and their cat and bird and even ferret are playing pickleball. Where did it come from? How did it just come overnight, right? Well, today I'm going to explain to you how pickleball was created, and this is exciting. And if you want more about this too, one of the owners, who's an amazing, intelligent man, wrote an incredible blog and did an incredible amount of research, which you can find that actual blog pieced apart over at paddleprobalm.com. You can also find it in the link of this podcast. We have hyperlinked it, so it'll take you directly there, and you need no effort but one click of a mouse. All right, episode 14. So from Bainbridge Island to your local court, the amazing story of pickleball. Are you guys ready? Let's do it. Welcome back. I'm your host, as you guys know, same voice. We're going to have some other people on soon, so just to prep you for that. But how did this incredible sport actually begin? Okay, so today we're going to dive into the fascinating history of the sport pickleball, how it was created, why I think it exploded in popularity, and what every beginner should know before stepping onto that court, and how you can avoid some of the most common mistakes that new players like you and I were once make, right? So if you ever wondered where pickleball came from or why it's been America's fastest growing sport, and real quick, so there was a statistic done by the governing entity of the entire sport, I would say 6 months ago, somewhere around there, and they said that you can take every sport combined in the world and then look at its growth combined in 1 month, and it doesn't even come close. Pickleball against and stacked up against that is still growing 513% more month over month. Think about that growth, right? That is absolutely huge. All right, so if you ever wondered where it came from and why it's the fastest growing sport, this episode is for you. Let's get started. So the sport that changed everything. It's hard to believe that just a few decades ago, or even COVID, most people had never even heard the word pickleball, right? I've heard bocce ball, that ball sport down in Key West I've seen one time in my life. But today, pickleball is everywhere. Parks, country clubs, retirement communities, YMCAs, dedicated indoor facilities, professional tours, national television coverage, and millions, I mean millions of players across the country. Don't believe me? Download Duper. It's an app. It's free, and look at all the players. So what makes pickleball unique is that it sits in a sweet spot between accessibility and competition. A brand new player can learn the basics under an hour, right? Yet experienced players spend years mastering strategy, positioning, shot selection, and consistency. Big keyword there. That combination is rare in sports. Think about it. Let's talk about the Summer of Love. The Summer of Love. No, I'm just kidding. Summer of 1965, okay? Were you alive? Were you? I wasn't, but were you? Let's go back to Bainbridge Island, Washington, okay, in the summer of 1965. There was a congressman named Joel Pritchard. He returned home with a friend named Bill Bell after a day of golf. Yep, they were out there hitting that ball. When they arrived, they found their families super bored and looking for something to do. No sweat. Like many great inventions, necessity became the mother of this invention. The property had an old badminton court. The only problem, they had no badminton equipment. That sucks. Instead of giving up, they grabbed whatever they could find, ping pong paddles, a plastic wiffle ball, and an old court. And a little bit of imagination. At first, the badminton net sat too high. The ball bounced well on the asphalt. However, so they lowered the net from 60 inches down to 36 inches. And just like that, the foundation of pickleball was born. So enter Barney McCallum. Who's that? The following weekend, neighbor Barney McCallum joined the fun. So this was his neighbor. Together, Joe and Bill and Barney began refining the rules. Their mission was simple. Create a game that the entire family could enjoy together. Kids, parents, grandparents, athletes, beginners, everyone, literally everyone. That family first philosophy still exists in pickleball today. I'm sure you guys feel it, right? It's one of the reasons the sport has connected with so many people. And you see that, so many different ages and people. Where was the first official court born, right? In 1967, the first dedicated pickleball court was built in Joel Pritchard's backyard. 5 years later, Pickleball Inc. was formed. What began as a backyard experiment slowly became something much bigger. None of these founders could have imagined that decades later, guys, today, millions of people would be playing the sport around the world, right? It's crazy. Where did the name come from? Let's talk about that. So amongst parks and tournaments and stuff and traveling that I've been at, one of the biggest myths in pickleball is that the sport was named after a dog named Pickles. I think it's a myth, right? Many people still believe that story today, but according to the historical accounts during research, the real origin came from Joel Pritchard's wife, Joan. She named the game after a pickle boat, B-O-A-T. In rowing, a pickle boat is made up of leftover rowers from different crews. That description perfectly matched the sport. Right? Pieces of tennis, pieces of badminton, pieces of ping pong, different elements combined to create something entirely new. Right? Repurpose. That's awesome. Why is pickleball so important today, guys? I actually am asking you. I'm going to tell you why I think, but I want you to send us emails, let us know. And again, let us know if you want to come on the podcast. Let's talk about that. So this is one of the biggest questions I get asked most often. And the answer is actually surprisingly simple. It's easy to start, no matter the age, but difficult to master, right? You have good weeks, you have bad weeks, but you always want to keep moving up. It's kind of addicting. The court is much smaller than a tennis court, as you know, right? I think it's 22 by 40 feet. The ball moves a lot slower. The serve is underhand. It's not those whack-pack chookies over the head. And players don't need elite athleticism to have fun, right? That means someone can walk onto a court for the first time and enjoy themselves literally almost immediately. Very few sports offer that experience. I dare you, if you're 73, to go try that on football. So let's understand the court, all right? For new players, understanding the court is incredibly important. You guys were there. I was there. That's much smaller than a traditional tennis court. The smaller court means less running, more strategy, more positioning, and more emphasis on shot placement. You got to watch where you're shooting that. And that comes from identifying and understanding the opponent's side, but also hand position right on the paddle. Okay? Pickleball rewards smart play as much as athletic ability, right? Let's talk about the 2-bounce rule. And again, this is for beginners, and maybe you need to brush up too if you're not a beginner. But if there's one rule that confuses beginners more than anything else, it's the 2-bounce rule, right? I've actually still done that today, 3 years later. Here's a simple version. The serve must bounce. The return must bounce. Only after that, those 2 bounces can a player begin volleying back and forth, no matter where it hits, okay? Except for out. The rule prevents players from charging the net immediately after serving. That's fair. It creates longer rallies. That's fun. It's more strategy. That causes you to grow. And it's much more balanced game. So if you're new to pickleball, don't worry, guys. Almost everyone violates this rule accidentally during games. Okay, and I still have done it once or twice when I'm super tired. Let's talk about the good old kitchen, and not the one where you cook up that chicken pot pie, Willis, but the kitchen, officially called the non-volley zone. The kitchen extends 7 feet from each side of the net. Players cannot volley the ball while standing inside of it. And yes, touching the line counts as beginning in the kitchen, right? You can't touch it. The kitchen creates one of the most strategic elements of the entire sport, in my belief. It prevents players like you and I from simply standing at the net and smashing every ball. You guys know those guys? Mr. Smash Hannigan? Yeah, that's preventing that all the time, but we still get some. Instead, it forces patience, touch, and control. Many of the most exciting rallies in pickleball happen right at the kitchen line, right? You guys know it. You start getting better, and then you realize that you want to move up to the kitchen and protect that middle line and sides, right? That is super fun. So it creates a lot of the exciting rallies, in pickleball. Let's understand the scoring, guys. Yeah. Okay. Scoring can sound intimidating at first, but it's actually quite simple. And you guys know this. The guy looking at Ralph to his right, he's a server 1, right? He's calling 6, 7, and I'm a 1. And the guy goes, wait, what was the score? Yeah, it still happens today. But it's actually quite simple. Only the serving team can score points. If the receiving team wins the rally, they gain the serve back, not a point. But they do not earn that point, right? So games are typically played to 11 points. If you're in tournaments, you'll see it go to 15 sometimes. And you must win by 2, always, no matter what. Only once you play a few games, scoring becomes second nature. And it will, I promise you guys. If you're just new and you're listening to this podcast or just starting pickleball, I promise you, don't feel bad for asking. People are very nice in the community, and it will start to catch on pretty quick, okay? I want to talk about something why I think communities love pickleball. Another reason pickleball has explained, or let's talk about like exploded, is the social aspect. I have touched on this so much time, and I have ADHD, and if you do too, go back to some of our podcasts and listen how cool I think this has helped me. But I think a big piece of that is the community and social aspect, right? Most clubs run open play sessions. You rotate many partners. Like our club, I know, is 28 to 30 for a 2-hour social play, so that's 28 to 30 people. You meet new players all the time. You're constantly talking to people. And there's no anxiety. That's the weird part about it. It's like the ice has been broken when you walk in. You build friendships, okay? I have built some too. Many people initially show up for the exercise, then they stay for the community. I think that's the most addicting part. And I would probably say, because we are human and we need significance and belonging, right? Especially as you get older, moms out there, and you got kids, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you are constantly wondering, like, is there more for me? Even though you guys have the most hardest and amazing job ever, I know and I've thought through and I've understood that. And so that's why I think that's great for pickleball is great for moms too. That's really something special, okay? Now let's talk about the beginner paddle mistake, which I'm talking about equipment. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is buying the most expensive paddle they can find. Can I get a boomstick? Okay? Do you have a boomstick? I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. No, it's a cool paddle, whatever, but you don't need it to start, okay? $250 paddle to learn pickleball? Really? In fact, beginner-friendly paddles are often more forgiving. I can attest to this, okay? Because I went through the paddle thing. I've paddled the paddle thing, and I've said, look what paddle thing I've paddled. And then right now, I'm using an Amazon paddle, $50. That's much better than any other paddles that I have. And then I'm using a Paddle Tech, which I didn't pay for. I got for free at a show as a demo, and I actually like that. But yeah, true story, it is $250, but I got it for free. So beginner paddles, they allow you to develop proper mechanics and consistency before moving into more advanced equipment. Okay, guys, trust me, don't go to the boomstick right before you boomstick. Okay? Remember, the founders started with ping pong paddles, guys. You don't need premium equipment to fall in love with the game. Trust me. Okay? Now, lastly, let's talk about the hidden challenge nobody talks about. Now let's bring this conversation back to recovery, right? The recovery podcast. I've got to. And I hope that you've enjoyed this story of where pickleball came from and kind of that. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it too. But many people assume pickleball is easy on the body, compared to tennis at least. In some ways, yes, that can be true. But pickleball creates its own unique demands, right, guys? And you all know this. Let's do it. Elbow, wrist, shoulder, forehand, all that, right? The repetitive dinking, the quick reactions, the wrist snaps, the serves. Serves are so fun, by the way. What's your favorite serve? Send us an email. The overheads. Those movements are going to add up over time. Most pickleball injuries don't happen because of one dramatic moment or one social play, right? They happen because of thousands of repetitions, okay? You know that. That's why recovery matters, guys. Very much so. Please listen to the other podcasts, and you'll learn some tips from us. It's also why prevention matters, okay? Recovery post, prevention pre, just like your probiotics in your good old gut, right? Let's keep that flora and that microflora and the microbials all alive in that belly. We need pro, we need pre, right? We need post. So same thing here applies. The Paddle Pro recovery mindset here at Paddle Pro is our goal isn't simply helping athletes recover after pain shows up, okay? It's helping players stay on the court longer, move better, recover smarter, and continue enjoying the sport they love. The best injury is the one you've never had, right? Think about that. The best recovery strategy is the one you use consistently, if it works. And listen, guys, get off of the ads being pumped with all these fix-it-overnight supplements. It's false, okay? A lot of the stuff you can do to be healthier, not even just if you're playing pickleball, is free. Breath, breathe in, hold 4 seconds, blow out, slow 6 seconds. Do that 3 times and tell me it doesn't reset your mindset and take away anxiety, okay? As pickleball continues to grow, hear me. Recovery and performance education becomes more important than ever. All right? Don't forget that. Final thoughts today is from a backyard on Bainbridge Island in 1965 to courts all across America today. Pickleball has become, for me, for you, if you're listening to this, something very special. You can agree with that, I know. What started as a simple solution to boredom has become a movement, a community, a lifestyle, and for many of us, most certainly me, a passion. So whether you're brand new to the sport or you've been playing for years, remember why pickleball was created in the first place: to bring people together so that we could have fun and to enjoy the game. Okay? Now, I know there's a lot of people out there, and I won't mention names, that, and I get it, it's addicting. You play and you want to get better, and what's the next tournament, and what's next for me? Can I be an athlete? Can I be sponsored? All that. And that's great, guys. But I'm speaking directly to you to remember to have fun. If you are constantly competitive and stressed and filled with cortisol and not having fun in the game, why are you there? Okay? You're damaging yourself, and I promise you, eventually, that is going to take its toll. It's going to make you regret and resent and not want to play anymore. So be competitive. Have those no-smile days, and you want to win, right? Win. But you have to filter in that fun. You have to find smiles. And by the way, if you're always that aggressive and not having fun, how are you going to meet anybody? That energy is not something people want to talk to, okay? You can feel it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. And again, happy Monday to you. Thank you for joining the Pickleball Recovery and Performance Podcast, brought to you by Paddle Pro Recovery, or PPR. And make sure you look for us at the events we travel to. We're sponsored, proud sponsors by USA Pickleball, and they are wonderful people out there. Also, guys, if you are looking for some kind of next-level paddles, we only recommend one person or company. That's Mint Sport. You can find them at mintsport.com. Their paddles are amazing. The owners over there are just super humble, super faithful. They have big giving hearts. And I got to tell you, starting a few companies over the last 12 years, when you start a company, like me, you want to make sure it's quality, right? But oftentimes, you want more quality, and you have to make money or find investment and do all that to kind of get to where you want to be. These guys spent a long time developing what quality looked like. I think they may even say it, or I'm going to say it, one of the two. It's tomorrow's paddles today. Like, it's literally that modern, and they are incredible, and they're not $250. And oftentimes, if you go on their website, they have discounts. Very healthy discounts. And I'm telling you, their paddles, their towels, their balls, everything about them is just super good. They're doing it right, and they're kind of creating their own lane, which is what you got to do. They're not competing. Mint Sport paddles and Padel paddles, and they have golf stuff. It's super incredible. And it's, if you care about aesthetics and what you look like, this is just going to up your game. You'll feel confident from it. That's just a side note or a microcosm, right? But head over there and check that out. Also, guys, we have a book out, 2 books now. The first one was about pickleball, and you can find it on Amazon, Bear and Hati, or you can find it in the link in this podcast. Talks about ADHD in a fun and loving way. It's big conversations that are easily spoken. So if you're a parent, counselor, doctor, or have a kid that has ADHD and you're just going through what most people do because no one wants to talk about it, pick up these books, Bear and Hati. It's on Amazon. The first one has already been there. We just launched the second one, which dives a little bit deeper with ADHD in the classroom. But the first one was based off our passion of pickleball. So check that out, guys, and make sure you head over to paddleprobalm.com. Get your affordable pain relief balm. Last you 3 months, TSA approved. Pop in your email there. We won't spam you. First order is 25% off plus fast free shipping. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you share the feed and send us emails. I want emails. I'm staring at the computer. I want to bring you on. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you've been through, what you think you're going to be through. I want to talk pickleball. I want to meet you. I want to bring you on the podcast, and I want to shout your company out or whatever you got going, and I want to help you get traction in the world today from collaboration. So that's it today, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as I enjoyed speaking it. And always remember to love the one you're with. And have a wonderful week ahead. See ya.